Okay, so good afternoon. We have today with us Amber Milks,
Mhm.
and I met her just, I guess, last week, and I thought it would be a good idea to invite her, as seems like she's doing something real good. So, Amber, thank you for being here today,
Thank you.
and I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting show since you're doing something great. So, tell us a little bit about you. Where do you come from? You say you have been here only 3 months.
I moved to San Francisco in the end of August.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Florida, and then I lived in DC for a couple years, and then most recently Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
I lived there for 5 years.
For school?
Yeah, I graduated from Ohio State in 2010, so lived there for a couple years.
What was your major?
Political science.
Okay. And that led you to do this?
When I was in college at OSU, I applied for a part-time job with a nonprofit
Okay.
that does dropout prevention in middle school and high school. And they hired me to be their intake specialist for a homelessness assistance program.
Okay.
So that started my nonprofit work. And my work there kind of led
To form this
yeah,
organization?
it led to the idea for Socially Charitable. The person that was doing the marketing, it's a small nonprofit, she
Okay.
wanted to do a fundraiser and didn't really know what she wanted to do and decided on doing a 5K. And I remember saying to her, I was like, I have a lot of friends and I don't know that they would want to get up at 7:30 on a Saturday morning to run a 5K, but there's a lot of great like social events that people go to anyway, some charities,
Why don't we
some
exploit
not.
them?
Yeah, so there was one great event called Cakes for a Cause that still goes on in Columbus, and I was like, why don't you do something like that instead?
Okay.
You have all these like young professionals who are busy, who may or may not be into the 5K thing.
Cakes? I mean, people bake cakes and they sell them?
The Cakes for a Cause event is an event they do annually that I think benefits the food bank there.
Oh, okay.
And all the bakeries and bakers and chefs around Columbus, they donate their
Cakes.
goods and their pastries
To
and
the food bank.
well, they donate it to this event.
Oh,
and,
then they raise the money?
You can go to the event and taste like all these amazing desserts.
Oh.
And I was telling her, I was like, I'd rather go to that, but and same with all my friends. It's they may not be into the 5K thing, but give them food and drinks and a social event, and they'll go.
Okay. So that sounds good. After you graduated, you decided to form your own organization, I assume? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm working on all the paperwork, which is kind of
Are you still
long
working
process.
on it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you are working?
hmm
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I work for another nonprofit in the Bay Area. The paperwork for Socially Charitable has taken a while. I got married, changed my name, moved across the country. So
That's your new name?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mills is my new name. So it's delayed the paperwork, and then kind of navigating all of that, being in California versus Ohio, a little different. So that's something I'm working on. And I still sort of operate in Columbus. I have the calendar. But it's a little
When
harder.
you say you operate in Columbus, you mean you're still in contact with the people there?
Yeah, definitely. When I was there, I worked with a small charity called the Star House.
Oh.
And, Socially Charitable only...
What's it called?
The Star House.
The Start House.
It's a drop-in center for homeless kids.
Yeah?
Youth aged like 16 to just after 18. And the first event I did as Socially Charitable was with them. And they had some bad experiences fundraising.
Okay.
And they ended up losing some money, and they weren't really sure, how
What
to
do?
go about it. So we did a couple of happy hours with
For
a
them?
local bar.
Oh.
And they didn't, the first one didn't raise a lot of money, but they don't have a good individual
Turnout?
donor base. Yeah.
Okay.
So we did it in the same neighborhood that they're in, trying to get their name out there. And we did 2 happy hours. The first one was so-so. The second one was much better. And then the third one actually...
much better?
Yeah, it actually fell on 4th of July. So
Everybody
the bar...
drinks.
Yeah, and the bar agreed to, still do the same, kind of event because it was the same...
So that one brought in a little bit of cash.
A lot of money, yeah. And the good thing was, and kind of the goal of all of the events, is that it didn't cost them a dime.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And we had a bunch of musicians donate their time. We had a bakery donate some cupcakes, and the bar donated 10% of the sales.
And what do you get out of this?
Nothing.
So so socially charitable doesn't take a percentage?
No. I don't know that I necessarily want to do the level of event coordination that I did for them.
Oh, okay.
Going forward. But it's more about the relationship connection. So having the relationship with the bar or the coffee shop.
It's a good experience for you.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to raise fund maybe through grants.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've kind of been trying to decide.
What's your model?
Yeah. Which is not an easy decision. But I also sort of like the consulting angle. So consulting with nonprofits about like smaller ones on how to do stuff like this.
How to raise money for their cause.
Yeah.
I see. That's good. That's good. So, and you would then charge for the consulting?
Yeah, like consulting hours.
Oh, okay.
But then put it directly back into, whatever other
into
events
the work
I'm doing.
that you are doing. So now you are in the Bay Area, and you decided to contact a few bars. Is that what you did? And a few of them said okay.
Yeah, so I started off just by trying to find events that were already existing, put them on the calendar, promote them, see what kind of the feel is.
Yeah.
And then I got contacted by North Beach Citizens, which is a nonprofit in North Beach.
Wow.
And, they were like, oh, so what's this about? And, they're small.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, they're a small nonprofit. And I happened to come across a bar in North Beach that advertised that they do this charity bartending every Thursday. And so I went in there and I talked to the owner, and he said, well, we try to do it, but we need the volunteers to do it from the charity. So, I was like, well, if I can get, charity to come in, will you do it maybe
They said yes?
on a monthly basis? Yeah. So the first one was actually last night. And it was very successful. They raised like $200, which it didn't cost them anything.
Yeah.
Just volunteer hours, basically.
Yeah, that's good.
And I connected them with this mobile pay app called PayStick, and they're very new. They're based out of Stanford, and they do like a scan to donate. So if you didn't bring cash, you can just scan the QR code.
Okay.
And so they printed a bunch of QR codes for them too.
Perfect. Because I saw at Starbucks people pay with their mobile now.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
My God, we're moving to an era that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well, the event last night, the deal was the charity or whoever brings in volunteers to bartend, so they don't have to staff.
Yeah.
And then all the cash tips that they earn go back to the charity.
Okay.
So not the credit card tips.
Okay.
So if people are coming in and they forget to bring cash, you're kind of, well, how do you give?
What are you going to do?
And so it was an easy way to say, oh, well, if you didn't bring cash, don't worry, just download this app on your phone really fast, scan it, and you can donate whatever amount you want.
Okay, it's like PayPal a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mobile app for PayPal or, but it's very simple, it's secure, and they printed them great materials and, in record time.
What's the name of the app?
PayStick.
PayStick.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, we exchanged a couple emails, and I told you that I would rather do with the juice bar. Are you looking into that?
Yeah, so there's definitely, there's lots of coffee shops for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And there's actually a new one that just opened. I walked by it on Columbus Avenue.
So you asked them?
I haven't been in there yet because I was working on this event yesterday. But the other thing...
You might look into that?
Yeah, and then, just in general... thinking about that, any kind of smaller business, like obviously Starbucks is not going to
it's too big
give up their so anything smaller and like especially new businesses, and if it's really easy for them, so and I think I'm not sure if I emailed you about the PayStick.
I think the name ring a bell, so you probably did.
But it would be, if you kind of worked with them, it would be as easy as just putting printed materials in the shop.
Okay.
That were just there all the time.
Okay.
And so, the girl from PayStick was telling me, she's like, we've printed on it. You can print it on anything. So, like, think about the cups or the sleeves or, the napkins. Really? So you could really have this.
So you promote PayStick and at the same time you use their service?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then people can scan to donate, like while they're in there, or you can incorporate another group that I heard of that I might have told you about was Causetown, and they can just sign up, the shop to, say every Thursday, like if you come in and you say French American TV will donate, $1 or $2 or percentage of the sale back to you. All they have to do is say it.
Wow.
So, and it's just a matter of getting people to sign up.
You're trying to develop your nonprofit in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a lot of work, but you'll be able to do it in your off hours or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, my job is fairly flexible, and I'm used to working a lot of hours, so I work my way through college, so kind of doing it in my free time isn't that unreasonable, I guess, to me.
Okay. You used to work more than 8 hours a day?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, because I looked into the website you emailed me about the house, what is it called? It has the logo of a house on the top.
I think that's Causetown.
Okay, Causetown.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I mean, they say enter your email twice, and then what do I do after that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to look into that a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they meant. I mean, it's just like a Google. It's just like a front page where you enter your email or your phone number, but then there's no instruction as how to move forward. I don't know.
Oh, maybe they contact you.
They might contact.
Yeah, I mean, I can contact them for you. One of the co-founders contacted me, so we're in touch. He was at the networking event.
Oh, okay.
For a short period of time, though. I had to
so
leave.
maybe they will follow up later when they're more organized. Maybe it's a new startup.
Yeah, they're launching. Causetown is launching in the Bay Area next month.
Oh, so they're not ready yet.
Yeah, they have one cafe that's supporting. I forget which charity it is. That's in, I believe, San Mateo.
Oh, okay.
But they haven't had like an official launch.
Okay. So maybe I'll be contacted after the launch.
Yeah, or I mean, I'm more than happy to contact him for you and say, hey, did you get the?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're not ready yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. So yeah, and they're probably gonna also develop the website so that it's more automatic rather than through a person.
Which, to do any kind of website development, San Francisco is definitely the place to do it.
Oh,
to get the technology.
There's so many web developers here. Have you tried to develop your own website, or are you going to have the assistance of someone?
I'm trying to... I managed the site myself and built it myself.
With WordPress, for example?
I started out with WordPress, but now I own the domain, and I use Wix to design it.
Wix is for photo. Yeah, well, I started Wix, but I couldn't really work it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have a Mac. I have a Mac, and it's not obvious. I don't know. Maybe it's better with the PC.
Maybe. I have a PC.
You have a PC, okay. So I was thinking of asking someone who has knowledge of Wix to assist me because it's good for photo.
Yeah, it's a really good. They have really nice templates that you can kind of start from.
Yeah,
makes it a little easier.
Yeah, they advertise on Facebook everywhere.
Yeah, and they're based here too.
Really?
Yeah, their offices
so
are
I can
here.
call them maybe for assistance.
Probably.
Yeah, they're also new. I mean, every startup is new.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I will contact them one way or the other because when they become too big, then you cannot contact them anymore. But,
right.
But anyway, but I found that it was a good platform. They had good templates, everything.
Yeah. It's very easy to use.
And it's easy to use except for me because I'm not that intelligent. But maybe I'll overcome it. I think for like anything on the internet, the more you look at it, the more you figure out things. So I have to kind of click a few buttons, see if it works for me, and because they have for photo the thing where you enlarge the photo, make it smaller, and then I didn't really know how to manipulate all these little features and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I definitely played around in it for a while.
Yeah, you did also? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
No.
Okay, so we teamed up for that meetup, and what do you plan on? What was your goal at the meetup?
just having moved here a couple months ago,
Yeah.
trying to get into the nonprofit scene and who's doing
Yeah.
what, and especially the smaller ones.
Yeah, Eventbrite showed up.
Yeah, which was great.
Mhm.
And I guess they had promoted the event.
They
They
and
featured it.
They do acceptance of payment for events.
Yeah. So I mean, the goal of the event was really just to meet other nonprofits
Yeah.
and people
A
that
few showed up actually.
yeah, and a lot of a couple people that weren't from nonprofits that worked for businesses who were kind of
Just networking.
trying to network into that or figuring out how to volunteer. Some people showed up, which was good.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the next guest will be someone I met at your meetup.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, I don't know if she signed up with mine or with yours, but she was there.
Yeah.
So
I'll take it.
You'll take anybody who wants to help. So, so where will you be located? I guess right now you are a one-woman show.
Just me.
Just you. Okay, so then later you'll probably have a place in San Francisco where you'll be operating from, or
Yeah, I
you
mean,
don't know.
Well, if I go sort of the consulting route, that's really sort of like you can work from home because mostly you go to
Telecommuting,
people.
maybe by Skype.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But mostly in that kind of work, you're usually going to the people rather than people coming to you. So it's going out to visit nonprofits and bars and different venues. So
And you tell them, why don't you raise money through that kind of model?
Yeah, I mean, the idea is sort of that I like to promote is this mutually beneficial relationship, right? So you have a small business, a bar, a coffee shop, whatever it is, a new business, a club, and then you have these small nonprofits, and you're trying to get good press as a business. They're trying to get more donors, more volunteers, their name out there, and so it's just a very
the
easy
price of entrance, maybe the cover charge, or I don't know, to go to a dancing club. They can give a partial payment of the cover charge.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a very natural relationship, and it's very inexpensive for both parties. And even if you may not raise a lot of money, that might not be your goal. It might be to get, more people to know about your organization, which is a huge issue for a lot of small nonprofits.
So the percentage they get is what, 10%?
That's pretty standard. Usually, almost every bar I've worked with that gives a percentage, it's usually 10% of sales.
That's good.
But yeah, I
It
mean, it
doesn't
can
hurt
be
them much, and it benefits somebody.
especially if you pick, a night that they are usually not busy, and you have all of your current followers, and
so that's more revenue for them.
Yeah, so it can be very mutually beneficial if done right.
But you like to go to meetups, but you do you go to bars?
Yeah.
Oh, you do go to bars. Okay. Okay. So it's pretty much in your activities anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go to your bar just for fun, a happy hour, and then at the same time talk to the owner, whatever.
And that's how I went to a meetup at John Collins, which is where our event was, and it wasn't a meetup, but it was just a networking event that I went to.
You mean in your city, where you from?
Oh, no, here.
Here in San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah, so the bar that our event was at.
It's called John Collins?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I went to another event there, and I was just asking the organizers, did they charge you for the space? And that's how I contacted them.
And that led them to say yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the same thing with the event yesterday. I go there, it's near my house, so I've been to the bar a couple times, and met the owner because he works there. And, we just talked, and he was like, sure, we'll do an event.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that we don't have a shortage of in San Francisco is bars.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have 2 or 3 to a block on Gary, for example. It's like sports bars, any kind of bar.
You can take your pick.
Take your pick, any kind of bar, but there's so many of them. I guess it's a good way to start a business because, like they say, alcohol sells.
It's, yeah.
Even in grocery store, that's their... most of their revenue. In a restaurant, alcohol is most of the revenue. So it's for sure a good source of revenue for nonprofit and for people who are trying to start a business. But although it's not the kind of business I would start. But anyway, so anyway, it's I would but probably encourage you to see other ways of
Mm-hmm.
fundraising.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is sort of whatever is going to be the least costly to a
Yeah.
nonprofit, because normally, if something costs a lot of money, you have to hit that mark to at least break even,
Yeah.
and then above that to make money, which is hard. It can be really hard.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about how much it's going to take of your
Mhm.
time and money to promote the event?
Or just, the Star House that I was talking about, the event they did was a dinner.
Yeah.
And so, of course, the food costs money, the space costs money, the speaker, the entertainment costs money. And so they have to cover that and then more
then
to make
more.
it worth their while.
Yes, yes. And then you bring them some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so trying to find the least costly, sort of thing, because even if you have a big dinner with a lot of people, if your costs were so high, you may not have made as much money as if you had done a smaller event that was cheaper. And so everyone's always trying to do the big dollar event,
Okay.
which is good if you have the following. You people will come and they'll
Big
buy the
mailing
tickets.
list, yes.
Yeah, but that's not always possible for people, and especially my generation is a little reluctant to spend $150 a plate and get dressed up and go to dinner.
Oh, yeah.
But, we go to happy hour, we go to coffee shops, we're doing all of this stuff already, we take yoga classes, you know, so why,
May
why
as well
not
explore that?
Yeah, so partner with a charity, get more people. It's low cost or free to the charity, and you're getting more people to learn about your business is kind of the idea.
Okay, and who invites them? You, because you have a mailing list, or the charity, or well, I assume both, but
Kind of both.
and the bar too. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, the more the merrier. The 4th of July event was so successful because we had about 5 local musicians that volunteered, and
That was in your hometown.
Mhm, yeah, in Columbus.
Okay.
And so they had people that were following them, and they came to the event. There were people that were already coming to the bar, so they were there for the event. The charity brought people, I brought people, and so they had about 300 people.
Okay. Okay. So it's a joint effort, I would say.
Yeah, because it benefits everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So in that scenario, the bar got more people.
Yeah.
They got free musicians. The musicians built a relationship with the bar, and more people heard them. The charity, got all of these people that were there drinking and, spending money. And then,
Makes the event better.
Yeah. And so the more diverse mix of people, the more it benefits everybody, really.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you should look at venues where they have a lot of people already.
Oh, yeah.
Like people have been around for a while. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
The bars that do well, not just a bar, but any venue, are sort of the local neighborhoody. They have a lot of regulars. Yeah. So they already know they kind of have that base, and more people will come. Maybe that'll become their neighborhood bar or neighborhood coffee shop now. And then their regulars will hear about the charity now. And so the charity gets new people that they may never have reached before.
Oh, okay. What kind of company are you trying to help? What kind of nonprofit are you trying to help? Or are you any?
Any.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I started out, when I worked in nonprofit, I was a social worker, and I worked with homeless families, so that's kind of
Where you started?
Yeah. But, I've... Don't discriminate.
Right now, if you meet one at the meetup, you say yes to it.
Yeah, if they're looking to make connections, with any kind of venue, I'm more than happy to facilitate. I used to work in bars, so that's kind of my comfort zone as well.
Oh, okay.
And I know what they're looking for and not wanting to do, and what they're comfortable with. So, a charity approaching them may not, sort of know how to frame it in that way that they're willing to kind of buy into it. So I'm more than happy to kind of facilitate that relationship.
Yeah. It could be also a specialty grocery store or a bakery or...
There's actually like a specialty grocery store in Columbus in Ohio that they did a charity, like they sell wine and beer, but they did a special on their take and bake pizzas that are really popular, and they did.
No, because we have a specialty French patisserie here.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, they might be willing to do anything.
Yeah, so you can contact the specialty that you have good relationship with.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, if they'll offer some kind of food special or, buy this product special or just this night come shop and, 10% gets
Percentage.
donated, whatever it is, and you can be there with, giving information about your charity and what you are and who you are and what you're doing and upcoming events. It's a really good way to get more people aware if you have like a big event coming up. You can kind of push that, at smaller events to get more people to come.
Okay, but some organizations are not really charity. They are more like they provide a service or they provide something, but they cannot fall really under charity because they're not giving away free stuff or anything. So I think there is nonprofit and there's charities, two different things, no?
As long as you are a 501c3,
Yeah.
I'll
so
work with you.
That's it?
Yeah, because that's sort of the gold standard of if you follow the nonprofit standards kind of legally.
Yeah.
And so going outside of that realm, I mean, there's different types of tax-exempt corporations that are not 501c3s, so there's little bits of difference.
Yeah.
But as long as it falls under that kind of...
Not to increase profits, then it's okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to work with a group and... they're saying they're providing a service, but really they're taking the money for themselves.
You want to see what percentage is for them and what percentage is for the cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Got it.
Sure.
But also the amounts that you are raising are not astronomical. You don't plan on doing any political events with your charity.
No. I mean, those there are
other
politically based nonprofit, and most of them. The political realm is a little... I don't want to...
big.
Yeah, and I don't want to alienate working with the regular nonprofits because I'm only working with this one type of political nonprofit that supports this kind of view.
Okay.
Yeah,
or support the proposition or support something. But
and then you risk alienating people who don't believe in that.
Okay,
because you're affiliated.
So then you get into the political clash. I mean, you studied political science.
Yeah.
so you want to stay away from that.
Yeah, I keep my personal views personal and, kind of keep it out of that. Just,
because then you might have a bias for a political view or another.
Yeah.
Like pro-life or non-pro-life.
Yeah, it's like dangerous territory.
Abortion, Planned Parenthood. I mean, there's a fine line between what they do good and what they do bad.
Yeah. So, and I like to work with the really small ones that I can really get to know what they're doing and where even though it's not thousands and thousands of dollars, it's got an impact and that they kind of feel it more than
they're
big
making a contribution.
Yeah,
but my show is usually bilingual. You told me that you do understand a few words in French.
Oh
no, you don't.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna keep it English then, right?
I wish I knew French.
Okay. All right, but the topic is good. So when I have a good topic, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna air it anyways. So it's going to air right here, locally.
That's awesome.
And 29, which is the local station.
Yeah.
And 76 also, which is a local station. So I wanted to thank you for being here. I think you explained very well what you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And since you started only 2 months ago, I wish you all the success you can get.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Well, we'll help you, and we'll do maybe another meetup together one day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.